Ah, my dear viewer, let me share a truth so potent, so life-altering, that once it takes root in your soul, it will render you utterly irresistible to a staggering 98.5% of women. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly all of them. But before we dive headfirst into this golden fountain of knowledge, let me ask you, have you ever looked at those men who seem to have women orbiting around them like moths to a flame and wondered, what sorcery is this? Meanwhile, you're left scratching your head, playing the part of the nice guy and wondering why Cupid's arrows keep missing your mark. Well, my friend, today's your lucky day. Stick around, because I promise you this. By the end of this video, you won't just have the answer. You'll have a secret weapon to ignite desire in ways you've only dreamed of. Now, let's tackle a lie you've been spoon-fed since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. You've been told to be nice, be kind, listen attentively, shower her with help and compliments, and voila! You'll win her heart. It sounds good on paper, doesn't it? Like one of those old-timey love stories where the humble farm boy wins the princess's affection through sheer goodness. But here's the cold, unvarnished truth. That story is a myth, a comforting lie. Women are not drawn to a man who lives to please, who bends over backward for approval, or who sacrifices his dignity on the altar of desperation. That man, my friend, is the emotional equivalent of plain toast, harmless, agreeable, and utterly unremarkable. Now, let me illustrate this conundrum with a metaphor, because as Mark Twain might say, a good metaphor is worth 10,000 words. Picture two creatures, the deer and the lion. The deer is the embodiment of the nice guy. He's eager to please, always available, and quick to yield at the first sign of conflict. He tiptoes through life, avoiding rejection as if it's the plague, hoping his endless devotion will win him a place in her heart. And what does it get him? Polite smiles, perhaps a thank you, but never that spark, that fire of passion. Now the lion. The lion is an entirely different beast. The lion does not beg. He does not cower. He walks with purpose, exuding quiet confidence that demands respect. He isn't constantly available because his life is guided by something greater than the approval of others. Women admire him not because he chases them, but because he doesn't need to. The lion is strong, self-assured, and mysterious. He commands attention without uttering a word. He doesn't adapt to please. Instead, he sets the tone and others fall in line. Women don't merely like him, they crave him. So, which will it be, my friend? Will you remain the deer, timid and unremarkable? Or will you embrace the lion within you and become the man who is not just liked, but desired? If this is already stirring something in you, drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're ready to unlock your full potential. The adventure is just beginning. The eternal riddle. Why does the deer, so eager and willing, find himself left in the shadow, while the lion, with his calm indifference, basks in the light of admiration? It's not chance or whimsy, my friend. It's the immutable laws of attraction at play. And if you'll lend me your ears, or eyes as it were, I'll walk you through 5 reasons why the lion triumphs and the deer falters. Reason 1. The deer, poor soul, exhausts himself in the endless pursuit of approval. He's the man who tilts his hat and asks, "Did I do well? Do you like me now?" This desperation, though well-meaning, strips him of his magnetism. Women, my dear friend, are drawn to a man whose confidence is like the sun. Steady, self-sustaining, and indifferent to clouds. The lion does not beg for applause. He strides through life, chest high and gaze forward because he knows his worth. And that is enough. Reason 2. In his attempt to be everything to everyone, the deer loses sight of who he truly is. He bends and shifts like a leaf in the wind, trying to meet every expectation, yet becomes forgettable in the process. The lion, on the other hand, is unyielding in his authenticity. He doesn't perform, he is. His steadfastness becomes a beacon, drawing others not because he tries, but because he simply cannot be ignored. Women crave authenticity over placation, a truth the lion understands instinctively. Reason 3. The deer, in his eagerness to please, says yes to everything. Yes to her whims, yes to her plans, yes to rearranging his life to suit hers. And while this may sound noble, it is a self-inflicted wound. The lion, by contrast, wields the power of no like a sword. He knows his time and energy are not commodities to be given freely, but treasures to be shared wisely. Women respect a man who respects himself, a man who says no when it matters most. Reason 4. The deer tries to mask his insecurity by pretending to be confident, but alas, the truth always shows through. Confidence, real confidence, cannot be faked. The lion exudes it effortlessly, a product of his own growth, purpose, and self-acceptance. His confidence is not loud or boastful. It's a quiet force that speaks volumes. Women don't need him to tell them he's confident. They feel it in his presence. Reason 5. The deer is predictable, always there, always eager, and thus tragically dull. The lion, however, thrives on mystery. He isn't always available, and he doesn't reveal all his cards at once. This unpredictability creates intrigue, and intrigue stirs emotions. And my dear friend, emotions are the fire that fuels attraction. But let us not pity the deer, for his failure is not one of morality or goodness. He is not rejected because he is unkind or unworthy. He is rejected because he fails to spark desire. Women, you see, don't seek a man who sacrifices his own needs for theirs. They seek a partner who stands as an equal, a man of mystery, strength, and authenticity. The lesson here is not to abandon kindness or decency, but to pair them with self-respect, confidence, and a touch of the untamed. Be the lion, my friend, and watch as the world shifts to meet you. Ah, my friend, there's a simple truth in this world, one that carries the weight of mountains yet is as elusive as smoke. A man with purpose is a man who commands attention, not just from women, but from the world itself. And here's the kicker. It doesn't require some grand, earth-shattering ambition. You don't have to be building pyramids or splitting atoms. A purpose can be as humble as crafting the perfect loaf of bread, or as ambitious as conquering the corporate ladder. What matters is that it stirs your soul, that it lights a fire under you every morning and carries you forward with a spring in your step. This purpose isn't just a nice little add-on to your personality, like a shiny cufflink or a jaunty hat. No, sir. It's your anchor, your core, the very thing that transforms your existence from a wandering breeze into a steady gale. Without it, a man drifts. With it, he becomes a force of nature. And here's the revelation you need to grip like a lifeline. This isn't just about how you act around women. It's about the very foundation of how you live your life. Take a moment to ponder the deer and the lion. These aren't just characters in some dusty metaphorical fable. They're the symbols of the energy you project into the world. The deer is all effort and apology, bending himself into pretzels to gain approval. The lion, on the other hand, strides with an inner certainty, not because he's perfect, but because he's true to himself. Women, and indeed anyone with a heartbeat, are drawn to the lion, not because he tries, but because he is. Let me tell you this, the lion doesn't wake up wondering how to win anyone over. He's too busy living his life, guided by his values and his goals. He sets boundaries, not out of arrogance, but because he respects himself enough to say, "This is who I am. Take it or leave it." And in doing so, he becomes magnetic. Women don't flock to him because he pleads for their attention, but because his authenticity shines through in every step he takes. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, "Well, I'm more of a deer than a lion," don't despair. The beauty of this truth is that it's never too late to change. Becoming a lion isn't about adopting some phony bravado or putting others down to lift yourself up. It's about digging deep, finding your purpose, and letting it guide you like the North Star. It's about taking control of your life with quiet confidence and steadfast resolve. Here's the secret. When you stop chasing approval and start chasing your own growth, something magical happens. Attraction stops being a game you play and becomes a force you embody. Women are drawn to the lion not because he's perfect, but because he's authentic. And when you live with purpose, confidence, and authenticity, you won't need to chase anyone. They'll come to you, captivated by the natural, irresistible pull of a man who knows exactly who he is. And so, my friend, we come to the end of this little journey, but perhaps the beginning of a much greater one for you. What you've heard today isn't just about impressing women. It's about transforming yourself into the kind of man who doesn't need to impress anyone. A man with purpose, with confidence, with the quiet strength of a lion. This isn't a trick or a gimmick. It's the essence of living authentically and fully. If there's one thing I hope you take away, it's that true attraction isn't forced. It flows naturally when you become the best version of yourself. And that's not just good advice for relationships. It's good advice for life. If this video sparked something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it, and subscribe to this channel so you can join us on this ongoing adventure. The best is yet to come.